You have reached the right place and the right channel, the Underdog Research Channel. And I am the principal researcher of all things technology, Underdog Researcher. And it is time for the Billionaire Blueprint. Folks, I told you, it is time for the Billionaire Blueprint, and I'm about to have it go down right here where no one else shows you the deep research that I show you, because I want you to add to your own research with my own research, and hopefully it can help you find out about this project, SWFTCoin. Now, before I get started, folks, this is research entertainment, and I can't do a video like I'm about to do for you without having my pomegranate juice, folks. This is the drink of champions. We don't need alcohol, folks. What we need is this pomegranate juice to take away all the things bad in the world. So cheers to you. We're about to get this Billionaire Blueprint down. Man, that's nice. Let's get started, folks, with the Billionaire Blueprint. Let's go. If you are watching this video and you don't know the faces that are appearing on your screen, then you do not know the Billionaire Blueprint for SWFTCoin. Each and every face on this screen is directly and indirectly associated with the future and current success of Swift blockchain and SWFTCoin. And I found this out when I dug deep in the SWFTCoin patent and trademark. I gave you an in-depth video where I went through and identified things that you need to know. Now, what were those things? You found out if you watched my previous video on the blockchain, SWFTCoin, and Swift blockchain. You found out about Gocoin and that it is a company owned by Ramble Land, the CEO of SWFTCoin. We found out that the trademark Swift was dead, and Gocoin was the company that owned Swift. We found out it was situated in California. And I went all the way through. And not only did I show you it was situated in California, I showed you a connection between TI Park, Silicon Valley, the building and the company that houses SWFTCoin and Gocoin. I showed you this connection, and you found out that TI Park, Silicon Valley is a U.S.-China technology startup incubator based in the heart of Silicon Valley in California. You knew that it was founded in 2013, and TI Park, Silicon Valley is the joint project between THTI Holdings, a subsidiary, and this was to encourage startups, companies, both in the US and China, to go beyond the border, to expand overseas markets, and to promote business communication and cooperation between Silicon Valley and China. TI Park, Silicon Valley features 50,000 square feet office space, now located both in California and also in China. Now, I want you to know that if you looked up the zip code for where SWFTCoin is, where Gocoin is, where TI Park is, there is a 65% ratio of Asian population in this area. Now, that's important to know. Now, I showed you the connection between TI Park and California and the TI Park in Beijing, China, and how they work collaboratively together to influence growth in both the US and China in technology. And we went through this and saw that Gocoin was registered in California. But this is what you didn't know. Folks, buckle up. Take your time, get comfortable. From this point right now, I'm about to go through the Billionaire Blueprint, but you need to pay attention to the connections. I'm going to take my time and identify specifically why you need to see and hear this information. Here it goes. This is what I found. Here we have the California Secretary of State, and I wanted to check out this Gocoin USA and Gocoin Incorporated. What? Wait a minute. Are there two under the same name, both in California? That can't be a coincidence. In fact, I don't believe in coincidences. So let's take a closer look. As you can see, there was in 10/3/2016, a corporation formed under Bo Land. That's the exact same person who runs SWIFT, isn't it? The CEO. What's interesting is that in 2017, this was terminated. A company called Gocoin USA, and it's in California, but the agent is a different name, John Shin. And the mailing address, though, is One World Trade Center, Suite 1130, Long Beach, California. But it has to be a coincidence, right? Because we all know we believe in coincidences. I'm going to go ahead and click on this one. But I want you to remember John Shin. So as I click on this one, I look and it shows the status of the company is active. It shows Bo Land at 1601 McCarthy Boulevard in California. That is the same address as what was shown earlier. And everything looks like it's in good standing. It all shows active and good standing. But who is John Shin? This must be John. And there's some articles about John Shin. Let's see what that has to talk about. And why is their name on the same company that SWIFT has? Well, it says he's an American Lending Center. Oh, the same address, One World Trade Center, Long Beach, California. Investor representation. Look at that. This is John Shin. Let's find out more about John Shin. It says John Shin is a creative pioneer behind groundbreaking integration of banking senior loan origination with EB5 operations. John obtained his master's degree from Duke University in 2006 and is an undergraduate degree from Law School of Pekin University in 1992. John founded American Lending Center, LLC, formerly Use LDC, and in 2009, as of 2022, ALC regional centers have successfully sponsored the fully funded over 80 EB-5 projects. Who is this EB5? Maybe we should look back at that. But I digress. Projects exclusively through secured senior loans by originating customized senior loans with third-party construction fund control and on-site management. ALC's unique approach minimizes the risk in both capital operation and corresponding immigration adjudication. The projects have collectively created over 12,000 full-time jobs throughout the United States. In October 2017, John received the Coleman Reports SBA 504 Lender of the Year Award for his outstanding leadership and contributions to business lending across the nation. The Economic Development Commissioner for the city of Long Beach, John also co-founded the first ever Long Beach Accelerator to support tech startups and help promote foreign direct investments and international trade. Well, John Shin, that's who you are. I think we should pay attention to John Shin. We should also pay attention to EB5 investors. The John Shin here at the same address with the same company name that came less than 1 year later has something to do with a connection with Bo Land, who is a part of EB5. They are filled with immigration attorneys, securities attorneys, RC creators, regional centers, business plan writers, EB5 accountants, economists, due diligence analysts, and the list goes on. So this group of individuals are organized and they invest in tech startups. I don't believe in coincidences. Do you? we saw John Shin make an introduction by seeing their name on an identical company called Gocoin. But why? Well, I'm going to tell you why. We're going to figure this out together. You see, Gocoin, which is the company that owns Swift blockchain, is two companies. There is a Gocoin Incorporated, which I showed you, Ramble Land, 10/3/2016, is the CEO and is active. And there's the Gocoin USA Limited Liability Company, which was created on 6/16/2017, which is terminated by John Shin. Now, you would think to yourself, well, what does that mean? Well, if you were speculating, this is what I would speculate why there are two Gocoins, the Gocoin LLC and the Gocoin Incorporated. I think, if I was speculating, that there's a capital requirements that are different when you have Gocoin LLC versus a Gocoin Incorporated. You see, I believe that if I was creating two companies, the capital requirements initially forming a corporation might be necessary if the founders are seeking a significant outside investment. So corporations offer various classes of stocks, making it easier to raise capital by selling shares to investors. Now, once the initial capital needs are met, the company might decide to convert to an LLC structure, which typically has fewer ongoing compliance requirements and offers more flexibility in the management and tax treatment. So maybe initially the Gocoin Incorporated wanted to get investments from outside investors. What else do I think? Why would there be two Gocoins? Make it make sense, Underdog Researcher. Well, there could be tax considerations. You see, what was happening in my speculative mind is that corporations and LLCs are taxed differently. You see, corporations are subject to double taxation, where the corporation itself is taxed on its profits, and then shareholders are taxed on the dividends they receive. But LLCs, on the other hand, are pass-through entities, meaning profits and losses flow through the owner's personal tax returns. If the company finds that the LLC structure offers more favorable tax treatment for its specific situation, they may opt to convert. Then I start thinking, just speculation, what about liability concerns between Gocoin LLC and a Gocoin Incorporated? Well, this could be the reason. While corporations and LLCs both offer limited liability protection to their owners, the specific details can vary. You see, LLCs often offer more flexible liability protection, especially for smaller companies. If the founders initially chose a corporation for its capital raising capabilities, but later find that the LLC offers sufficient liability protection without the added complexity, they might choose to convert. And then I thought, well, what about operational flexibility between a LLC Gocoin and a Gocoin Incorporated? Just speculation, folks, but this would be my speculation. You see, why they would do it? Well, operationally, the flexibility would be the LLC Gocoin typically would have fewer formal requirements and less administrative burden compared to corporations. If the founders initially underestimated the administrative overhead associated with running a corporation, they might choose to convert to an LLC for a simpler ongoing operations. And then finally, I thought, what about the strategic changes between having Gocoin LLC and Gocoin Incorporated? Well, strategically, if I was to speculate, I would think that sometimes the reasons for changing the business structures might be strategic or operational, Let me give you an example. For instance, if the founders initially intended to pursue a specific market or a business model that later proves unfeasible or unprofitable, they might decide to close the LLC and pursue a different venture altogether. Folks, that was Underdog Researcher speculating on why I found two Gocoins created within a few months of each other, one Ramboland or Bowland, and the other one with someone I'd never heard of, John Shin at the time. And I gave you 5 reasons of why I speculated that was the case. But now let's remove the speculation. Let me show you exactly why you need to pay attention to that name, John Shin, with this project. I showed you that EB5 investors. But what is an EB5 investment? Well, there's a program in the US. Let's talk about it. The EB5 Investor magazine, where we saw John Shin, is the leading online portal, conference series, and magazine devoted to helping investors, developers, and EB5 professionals. Now, what they do is an online community helping those seeking a green card to the U.S. through the EB5 visa program. Now, this visa program was set up by the United States government in an effort to assist investors in becoming permanent U.S. residences. Now, I want you to think about that. John Shin is associated with this EB5 investors, and he also is associated with this company called Gocoin. And why does that matter? Well, the Department of Homeland Security is why it matters. Yes, folks, we're going deep. You see, the Department of Homeland Security has an EB5 immigrant investor program. And let me explain why. You're like, why does this have to do with SWFTCoin? You better pay attention, folks, because it's going to get real. You see, this EB5 immigrant investor program does primarily 4 major things. The USCIS, that's the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, administers this EB5 program. Under this program, investors and their spouses and unmarried children under 21 are eligible to apply for lawful permanent residency. That's a green card, folks. Now, 1, you see that check mark to the right? They make the necessary investment in a commercial enterprise in the United States. 2, second check mark I have for you there. They plan to create and preserve 10 permanent full-time jobs for qualified U.S. workers. 3, this program is known as the EB5 for the name of the employment-based 5th preference visa that participants receive. And then 4, you see that right there, folks, the very last check mark. The U.S. Congress created this program, folks. The EB5 program in 1990 to stimulate the U.S. economy through job creation and capital investments by what? Foreign investors. In 1992, the U.S. Congress created the Immigrant Investor Program, also known as the Regional Center Program, which sets aside EB5 visas for participants who invest in commercial enterprises associated with regional centers approved by the USCIS based on proposals of promoting economic growth. So SWFTCoin, the blockchain owned by Gocoin in TI Park, which is what is at the Silicon Valley, and it's for U.S. China startup incubator and the heart of California, a venture capital and private equities company situated in 2 places, TI Park in California and TI Park in Beijing. Folks, you see it. So I just showed you again. That was my previous research where I showed you TI Park. And you're thinking, Underdog Researcher, you're keeping me on the edge of my seats. What is the connection with John Shin? What is it? your wait is almost over, folks. Folks, this video is going to be in depth. I'm going to show you the direct connections, and we can't just do some cookie cutter research. We got to show you the connections firsthand for yourself. Shin is also the chief executive officer. That's the CEO of a company called the American Lending Company. And what I showed you was, back when Gocoin was first started from 2017 all the way until the crypto crash in 2021, SWFTCoin, Gocoin sales reported were no more than $130,000. And with the crash of crypto, Gocoin was in a predicament. So introducing Shin, foreign direct investments. You see, if you remember, Shin was at a location at the World Trade Center in Los Angeles, California. And that was the foreign direct investment hub. Now, we know this because if you look at the Gocoin registration, the same one I showed you in the previous video, we see the two Gocoins. And I'll put it in green so you can see it right there with your own eyes. Gocoin USA LLC, the limited liability company. The location in green with the black wording says what? It was created on 6/16/2017. The location being 1 World Trade Center, Suite 1130, Long Beach, California. And that was on the same registration time as SWFTCoin. And what does the World Trade Center in Los Angeles do where Shin's at? Well, it's dedicated to attracting foreign direct investments and facilitating business opportunities between Los Angeles and international companies. Now, Los Angeles County is a mega region with many opportunities for international companies to set up in one of the largest U.S. marketplaces and where 40% of all goods in the United States enter. Folks, Shin, as you see right there, look on the back of his wall. Can you see that? I underlined it with a green line and check marked it with green. It shows Shin standing in front of a picture he's posing, and it says American Lending Center, his company, and it then says EB5 milestone. So Shin, who is he? Why does it matter? Well, Shin, the CEO, also has a company called Sunstone Investments. His expertise includes commercial lending, structural financing, private equity, and I put it in green so you can read it, folks, venture capital fund management. Has an in-depth understanding of the U.S. capital market demand and unique ability to develop client trust and have essential in laying the foundation of his company. And I need you to understand, you're like, Underdog Researcher, I know we're talking about Shin, but what's the connection to SWFTCoin? Well, it's right here, folks, right here. In Shin's book named Crossing the Swamp, My Path to Innovating as a Parallel Entrepreneur, I put it in black. It says John has a strong passion to support grassroots entrepreneurs and small businesses, especially minority and women-owned micro businesses. His American Lending Center had made over 25,000 loans to minorities and women-owned small businesses in all 50 states by the end of 2022. Remember that, folks. Remember, he gives loans. Remember all 50 states, and remember 2022. He is a co-founder of the Long Beach Accelerator and his company, Sunstone Reward Innovator Startups. Now he's talking about pitching. Well, let's talk about what he pitches. Well, you see, here we have ALC, his company, American Lending Center. Look at the bottom left, folks, with EB5 investors. Port Beach, California Immigration Expo, where they're bringing in investors that want to do the EB5 program. Now, this EB5 program was funded and sponsored by the Green Card Fund. Now, you still got to see the progress of why this is important. So let me show you why this is all connected to SWFT Coin, a new gen worldwide company. It talks about what it is. Here we go again, the EB-5. And what does it say? The program is an Invest in Immigrant program created by Congress in the United States, folks, in 1990, for foreign nationals can get a green card if their investment of $800,000 into a local project creates at least 10 full-time American jobs. They've seen $14 billion in capital investment and has created more than 355,000 new full-time jobs here in the USA. With the Green Card Fund, which you see showed you earlier, they've created hotels, museums, healthcare, schools. Who's behind this program with Green Card Fund? Their international, localized support for our investors and distribution partners are in China, Vietnam, and India. You have to put in as a company in order to even be eligible for this particular program, which we know there's a connection with SWFT Coin. Well, this is what it says. When investing through a regional center, the minimum capital investment requirement is $800,000. And when you select a project in a targeted employment area for the projects not meeting this criteria, the capital investment requirement, $1,050,000. Green Card Fund actually seeks quality projects that reside in these areas that are invested in immigrant opportunities and are available as many qualified investors as possible. And we're just on John Shin. I have lots to go, folks. Lots to talk about today. So we see that EB5, John Shin, gives loans. And the United States Congress back in the 1990s and 1992 said we want to increase investments from foreign companies, foreign organizations. And this is what we'll do. If you bring your talent here, if you come to the United States, and not only you come to the United States, you create at least 10 jobs, and you will spend at least $850,000 into that company, we will give you a EB5 green card for you, for your wife, or your husband, and your unmarried child up to 21 years of age. Because you will help us grow as the United States of America with your talent, with your knowledge. And John Shin says, I will, as a company under American Lending Center, loan money as a non-bank into venture capital and small businesses and minority businesses, because I'm from China and I've made it over here and I crossed the swamp, as he said in his book, and I want to help out you. And if you have the right factors, like the U.S. Congress has stated, I will give you money through this program. So earlier, I speculated of why I saw Gocoin LLC and Gocoin Incorporated with John Shin and Ramble Lan, the CEO of SWFT, and John Shin here as well. But I'm about to show you a connection. It was the Bitcoin Forum in 2017. I want you to remember that John Shin's company, American Lending Center, is also called Sunstone. And I want you to remember that Ramble Lan, as you see right there, is the CEO, and he is over SWFT blockchain, right? And I want you to see this username right there, right on your screen, called Jeff XUY. Now, just so you can see, look at the bottom. It says last active in 2020, And the date registered was October 25th of 2017. Now, I want you to remember that, folks. Now, Gocoin connection. We both know now, after you've heard me talk about this, was a company that both John Shin owned and Rebranding owned. And we wanted to know why. Now, on October 25th of 2017, there was a question asked on this forum that you can find online, buried deep within the internet. And it was in the Bitcoin forum. And on that date, a user named LuxBit, I put it in green to the left, asked a question to Jeff XUYUM. Now, this question was, as it shows you there, this: who would be the members of the team? Because you mentioned our team, but do not list who the members are. Now, just to put some context to it, folks, you see, the Bitcoin forum was a forum created like Reddit, a blog, if you will, by this person named Jeff. And they listed this information to promote the token SWFTCoin in 2017. And we know that SWFTCoin came out in 2017. And so this user is responding to the person who was promoting SWFTCoin. And I want you to see what they said. This is what they said. So we need to explore the connection. Is it all just a coincidence? Well, let's find out right now. The very first post here in the Bitcoin forum, October 25th of 2017, as you can see here, SWFTCoin has the user, Jeff XUYUN, that created this forum during their airdrop campaign. Now, in this SWFTCoin blockchain blog that you can see here that is announcing their airdrop, it goes over the partners, the exchanges that were there at the time, which again, I want to show you is October 25th of 2017 at 7:24 p.m. And it talks about the advantages, the SWFTCoin overview. Now, this is the very first post on this Bitcoin forum. Now, just like all cryptocurrency projects and blockchains and technology, people have questions. So I want to draw your attention to this. On October 25th, 2017, 2 hours later after this was first released and announced by SWFTCoin, at 9:13 p.m., a username, LUKSBit, a senior member with over 1,204 posts on the Bitcoin forum, asked a question to SWFTCoin. And that person that they asked the question to was the person who started the trend about SWFTCoin, Jeff XUYUN. Now, they asked a very simple question, a question you might ask. They ask, who would be the members of the team? Because you mentioned our team, but do not list who the members are. That's a fair question, right? But I want you to pay very close attention to the response. I'm going to make this bigger so we can't miss it. In response to that question, we see the response from SWFTCoin, the person that's here as the moderator, Jeff XUYUN. And they responded fairly quickly, as you can see. This post was at 9:13 p.m. where the question was asked about who the members were. And a very quick response by Jeff. Just about 9 minutes later at 9:24 p.m., it says the following. Who would be the members of the team? You can view a detailed list of the members on the 18-page white paper here. Some selected members are listed below. And as you look through this, what do we find? That's right, folks. John Shin, aka Shin Zhang. Who is he? The founder and the CEO of Sunstone Management in the United States and the EB5 Regional Centers Holding Group. Sunstone Management partners with Morgan Stanley, AB Funds, and M Group and Seraph Group to issue a combination or customized products offering global wealth planning and management services. Regional Center Holding Group has 11 EB5 regional centers approved by the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. John obtained his lawyer's degree, that's that JD degree, from Pekin University in 1992, and a master's degree in statistics and sociology from Duke University in 1996. Shin has been serving as the chairman of the admissions committee of the Alumni Association of Duke University since 2013. In 1993, John received a Henry Luce Foundation Fellowship and began his graduate study at Duke University in 2015. He received Forever Duke Outstanding Alumni Award from Duke University in 2016. He became a member of James B. Duke Society and the President's Society Council at Duke University. Folks, we have verified the connection with John Shin. Oh, yes, folks. I told you it's going to get real, folks. It went from speculation to reality. SWFT connection revealed. This Bitcoin forum showed that John Shin is a team member for SWFT blockchain. But don't take that word for it from just a blog, folks. I went deep and I located the original white paper that they were referring to, page 19 of 30, that John Shin of Sunstone is a team member. I blew it up so you can see it. SWFT blockchain's white paper that came out in 2017 says John Shin Zhang, is the founder and CEO of Sunstone Management in the United States and the EB5 Regional Center Holding. Sunstone Management partners with Morgan Stanley, AB Funds, M Group, and Seraph Group to issue a combination of customized products. Folks, let me tell you how smart this person is. There he goes. John Shin, the founding partner of Sunstone Management, a founding member of SWFT blockchain, SWFT Coin, is in Southern California-based diversified private capital management, an investment firm. He received his undergraduate from Pekin University in 1992. The man is tremendously brilliant with finances. Now, let me go a step further. The executive John Shin, founding partner of Sunstone Management Incorporated and CEO of American Lending Center, in an article in August 19, 2019, they talk about John Shin. Here he is, again, the CEO of American Lending Center, a team member of SWFT Coin that has just been revealed to you. Now, this is why John Shin started American Lending Company. He started American Lending Company using SBA loan programs as a primary investment vehicle. And they're looking to look at small businesses to give them venture capital opportunities to help these startup companies like SWFT Coin and SWFT Blockchain, Gocoin. Sunstone, his company. Why is that important, folks? Well, this is why it's important. In an article, they asked John, where do you see the biggest opportunities for foreign investment in Long Beach, California? This is what John said. I think on top of that, Long Beach has a pretty active government that has pushed out a lot of new policies to support international business to relocate to Long Beach. We know that they love Long Beach. It's going to take a little bit of time to attract all this foreign investment to Long Beach, but I think the future looks really good. You see, on March 5th of 2024, you want to know how powerful this is? At 2:54 p.m., do you know what happened? Do you know what happened? Okay, I'm going to ask you again. Do you know what happened? Oh, no, you're not ready yet. Do you know what happened at 2:54 p.m. on March 5th? I'll wait. I can't wait. Let me show you what happened, because you should know what happened if you're in SWFTCoin. So Sunstone, John Shin's company, had launched a dream run moving Irvine forward. Now, this is an article that was done at the time in Irvine, California on March 5th, 2024. Pay attention to the date and time, folks, 2:54 p.m. This is what John said. Most people who live and work in Irvine, California were not born or raised here. Now, he further said what I put in bold at the bottom. We are fundraising $50,000 to support entrepreneurship and startup development. This race is the cornerstone of the Irvine Tech Week and the launch pad for the Irvine Accelerator. Now, remember, folks, he was the same one to do the Long Beach Accelerator and do innovation with private equity companies and also with venture capital. Now, in green, it says what John says. John says, and I quote, the founder of Sunstone and American Lending Center, the Sunstone Community Fund provides grants to network of universities, nonprofit organizations, and public-private partnerships that develop and implement university-based entrepreneurship programs, early stage tech accelerators, and more. Now, folks, he talked about that accelerator. You see, the Irvine, California approved John Shin's letter of intent with his company, Sunstone Management for Business Accelerator. Now, folks, if you remember March 5th, 2024, do you really remember it? If you hold SWFTCoin, you should. Because on the same day that he launched this 5K run to raise money and where he was promoting the innovation and acceleration of Irvine, let me tell you what happened. Let's see if you like this connection. SWFTCoin received the highest amount of volume in its history in one day at March 5th, 2024, around the same time when John Shin was launching this accelerator and spreading the news about what his company can do for foreign investments. SWFTCoin, where he's a team member, where he founded, raised 111 million in volume in 24 hours, folks. One day, 24 hours. So you wanted to know what all was going on during that time frame, and people were buying everything from Coinbase, and the market was going crazy. SWFTCoin doubled its market cap. It went from 10 million to 25 million, and it kept going, and it stayed there. You couldn't get the project at the same cost. And I'm not even talking about the money. That was just one day. Now, if that was caused by John Shin's interaction in this market, then you're really like this. You know, SWFTCoin and AI go hand in hand. But did you know that on November 20th of 2023, there was an executive order from the President of the United States on artificial intelligence and how it could affect these EB-5 visas I told you about? President Joseph Biden issued in late October of 2023 an executive order on the safe, secure, and trustworthy development of use of artificial intelligence, instructing government agencies to take steps to retain and attract talent in artificial intelligence and make visa processing more efficient for individuals coming to work and studying U.S. and AI or AI critical technologies. Folks, you cannot get any better than that. The President of the United States in 2023, President Joe Biden, had an executive order that is still in place that directly connects with the area in which John Shin is in, getting foreign investments in the area of AI so that we as the United States can expand our growth in those areas. And how do we trade it off? The companies under this program must have at least 10 American jobs they create and have at least a minimum of $800,000 to $1 million invested in order for you to get the loans that John Shin is able to give to these businesses like SWFT. And it's still not done, folks. We're just talking about John Shin. I'm just getting warmed up. What does SWFTCoin do? Well, here it shows you exactly what it does and why is it that's applicable. It was created by experts in the field of what? Artificial intelligence, information data, and blockchain. It does 4 types of exchanges, folks. Fiat to fiat, that's money to money exchange. Fiat to cryptocurrency, cryptocurrency to fiat, and cryptocurrency to cryptocurrency. According to developers, the SWIFT platform is the future and it will become the fundamental technology that all existing currency conversion services will focus. SWFTCoin, folks, the technology. You want to know why that was important? I just showed you why with just one of the connections. We got more, folks. I got more. That it will become the fundamental. We're talking about the bread and butter technology that all other AI platforms such as SWIFT will model after. But SWIFT is there first. Folks, we are just warming up. What does SWIFT do? Well, the individual user can use SWFTCoin like this. You get the platform, you can exchange to the platform. This is in the blueprint of SWFTCoin, and you can exchange currencies. But what about the commercial user? The commercial users are the banks and companies. This is SWIFT's blockchain's white paper, folks, the foundation. Well, you get your SWFTCoin, you can transact with fiat, that's money, crypto, crypto to fiat, fiat to crypto, whatever you want, and use the API integrated into whatever system you want, folks. Folks, this is what I've been trying to tell you. If you check out the episode number 2 on the new collaboration, the Third Eye, Internet Industry Insights, they talk about this, and I want to give you a quick glimpse. If you haven't seen this new collaboration, Indigo Saint is the host of this one, and let me show you what he said just about that part when it comes to why this is humongous news, folks. Check out what was said in the Third Eye episode number 2.
And welcome back to the Third Eye with your boy Indigo Saint. So for me, anything that I find on the internet, any project that I see, any crypto project specifically that I see that has anything to do with, they call them swaps. In reality, how I see it is that it's the transfer of money. That's basically what a swap is. So it's a transfer of money from one party to another, and parties range. You see, parties can be an individual. It could be me sending money to you. Because of cryptocurrency, you can do this directly. I can get a wallet, you can get a wallet, and then we can share. What happens though is that these cryptocurrencies, they don't use the same technology. So for example, if you have crypto that is, let's say, in Ethereum, that's Ethereum based, right? Those have a different protocol than cryptos that are Binance based. They have different protocols as far as the technologies that they use. So SWFTCoin, if you're looking for the token, it's SWFTC. SWFTCoin facilitates various functionalities within the SWIFT blockchain, unique cross-chain swap technology that aggregates liquidity from multiple exchanges to provide users with the best possible rate for their cryptocurrency swaps. This technology eliminates the need for users to create accounts on multiple exchanges and simplifies the swapping process, money from one chain to another. The challenge then comes when you have to move from one protocol or slash network to another. This is now when you need to use a third party, right? And these are technologies that allow swaps, technologies that exist, that are circulating in Web3 right now, right? And so, as I was saying, anytime I see swaps, right, automatically, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, money from Australia to Peru, that must be a protocol in itself. How does that money get transferred? When I'm looking at these technologies, I'm looking at utility. So this is just to set quick, all right? A lot of what banking relies on is not just security, but it's also about speed. The quicker you can move money, the more business you get, the more money you can make.
Quicker you can move it, the better you can make money. Right now, folks, it's about speed. You look at the crypto market, it's crazy. You got 10 different tokens. You have to have 10 different wallets, and one doesn't talk to the other. But with SWFTCoin, it is the hinge, folks. I'm not looking for the door. No. I'm looking for the hinge that keeps the door up. You can have the strongest door in the want to, but if you don't have the right hinges, that door won't function. And SWFTCoin is that hinge that allows this cross-border payments to happen, and everyone's getting on the bandwagon. So, folks, that was the Third Eye, episode 2. Make sure you tune in, but I'm not done. We got to keep going, folks. Shin, the foreign direct investment at the World Trade Center where he works, folks. I told you that he is a part of the EB5. Picture with the EB5 and his company, American Lending. And one day of Shin doing his thing under Sunstone on the same day of his event. Coincidence that SWFTCoin made volume of $111 million in 24 hours? I think not. But if for those pessimists, then fine. I just think it's a very, very significant coincidence that happened on the same day and the same time that he's holding an event to promote his accelerated program for Irvine, California, after he's done this for Long Beach, California. Call it coincidence, that you be the judge. Now, here we go, folks. Here's another connection. Shin, remember, American Lending Center is his company, EB Investors. They're pitching on March 8th. Now, March 8th, they have a pitch, and that's going to be about this and all other global immigration things dealing with EB5. And then we have the Vietnam. We see that on March 13th to the 14th, they're going to Vietnam. Now, why are these international things important? Well, let me tell you why. Because Shin, remember, he is a Chinese native, a SWFTCoin member of the founding of SWFTCoin. He came to U.S. in 1993 as a foreign student. He's the CEO of American Lending Center in Irvine, California, where the city of Irvine has now accepted his proposal to innovate with entrepreneurship in foreign investments and technologies just like SWFTCoin. He's a powerhouse, folks, with over 100 million in revenue in 2021. He pioneered unique lending models and is noted for that. Shin founded Sunstone Management, an investment firm that achieved exponential growth, earning recognition on incorporations of the 5,000 in Financial Times, folks. And let me show you how you know this is important. Because the EB5 investors converted their whole edition into Chinese. Why would they do that? Well, let me tell you why they would do that, folks. Because this EB5 investor with Shin is going to Shanghai, China to pitch, folks, on May 14th and 15th of 2024. That is the third quarter. And then they're not done. They're going in the fourth quarter, going toward the very beginning of the fourth quarter. It's September 2024, right before October. So at the very end, right when the October begins, they're going to pitch again in Shenzhen, China. And why is it important? Well, I showed you in my previous video, Fidelity. I told you about, while they did the rabbit year and the year of the dragon. And I showed you Catherine Young, investment director in China Focus. And remember what she said about what's going down in 2024 and 2025? If you don't remember, then pay attention.
Investors looking into 2024 perhaps shouldn't expect a V-shaped economic recovery. The reason being is that the government's policy response has transitioned away from big bang policy stimulus that many investors are used to. So for example, in 2008, to more targeted and precise policy support. Expect more incremental supportive measures, really underpinning growth across the economy. And these policies in aggregate are expected to be quite meaningful. Growth for China is about viable, sustainable, moderate growth. We don't need to see GDP come in at 9 or 10% anymore, given where the economy is in the cycle. So 2024 is also probably about this continuation of investors' expectations when it comes to China and the resetting of expectations when it comes to growth, both when it comes to economic growth as well as market returns. The investment process of the China Focus strategy remains exactly the same. So it's all about identifying good companies run by good management teams at a good price. So under the scenario where the Chinese economy does go into a downturn, when the cycle does recover, these companies will still be around. And a strong or solid business model should in fact see more value add to these companies. Turnaround in sentiment, especially in the first half of 2024. But under the scenario whereby we do see the government reforms work, then top down, this bodes well for a good result. So top down, coupled with attractive bottom up fundamentals, should see Chinese equities deliver attractive earnings as well as returns for investors.
Now, SWFT Coin, we learned about this in the patent. Let me tell you another connection. Folks, during this, I found another connection. During my search for the patent, I need to bring to your attention Rambalan, the executive officer, the CEO, and Christina Chen, the chief marketing officer. Now, this was found also on Gocoin Incorporated, which I showed you there. I highlighted it, their email addresses and their names associated with Gocoin at the address I showed you at Metapath in California. Now, this is what's important. Christina Chen, representing SWFT blockchain at the Expo blockchain in 2018. Now, folks, I told you, folks, there's some connections, but there are some connections are just unavoidable. Here's a direct connection. Now, I got to say here, before I go to this direct connection with Christina Chen, my good friend, Black Roo Investing. Let me tell you about him. Black Roo Investing tried to ruin my research. Yes, he did. And if he's watching this, Black Roo, you almost ruined my research. Black Roo Investing has been covering SWFT Coin as well. He's covered Draper Dragon. He's went deep. He talked about what's immutable with the name. Black Roo Investing has been covering a different aspect of SWFT Coin. But in his video, he did a 2-hour marathon about SWFT Coin. Let me show you what he released before I had an opportunity to release my video and how Black Roo was right on target with his research. Check out this information.
What if I told you, move over Michael Saylor, move over Andreessen Horowitz? What if I told you Tim Draper is absolutely, hands down, crypto's quiet king? And as a matter of fact, you could probably say move over Warren Buffett, move over, Kathy Wood. Tim Draper is probably the best investor in the last 40 years. Made me look into Draper University. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you so much. SWFT CMO, Christina graduated from Draper University. There's a connection there to Draper University again. So you can see they're inter-employing here. You think maybe it's because he can afford to insulate himself, rich and powerful? That's what I think, man. Like, it seems like he can insulate himself, but clearly his portfolio is way bigger than Michael Saylor.
You need to check out Black Roo Investing's 2-hour, 42-minute marathon he did on Swift, and specifically him talking about Draper Dragon, but he mentioned Christina Chen. Folks, let me tell you, Christina Chen, you need to say her name more often because she is super intelligent. Christina Chen is definitely making moves behind the scenes, but I'm not going to let her stay there too long, folks. We just got that from Black Roo, the Draper Dragon connection, how he may be insulating himself using Christina Chen. Well, let me prove it. Here we go. So, as Black Roo said, who is this Christina Chen? Well, Christina Chen is the Vice President of Global Marketing and Business Development at Swift Blockchain, the CMO. Now, here's an article that she wrote, and it's called Funds Transfer, Rebuilding Trust Between Transactional Parties. Now, I highlight it at the bottom because this is talking about focusing on financial transactions implementation of Swift Blockchain. And at the bottom of this article, Christina Chen, who wrote this, stated, decentralized, distributed, and irreversible transactions bring a promising transparency. In addition, transaction time is intrinsically faster, if not immediate. Such evolution will make blockchain the technology of tomorrow. According to Ms. Chen, what's more, the technology rise will not happen, but will also be totally transparent for consumers, just like the current complex process happening behind a credit card processing transactions. Now, Christina Chen then was invited to speak at the IEEE Standards Association. Now, this was in Silicon Valley leadership community, and she also was taught about the Web3 support. And I took a look at this. And as you can see here, she was asked to speak on April 14th of 2023. And the topic was Metaverse Congress, Advancing Metaverse for Economic Growth and Sustainability. Folks, are you ready for the connection? I'm going to have to do it. I didn't want to do it, folks, but I'm going to have to take off my jacket because it's about to get heated up in here. Folks, let's talk about the connection that you never knew about. I promise you that. Christina Chen, this is what happened during this conference.
Christina Chen. Christina is a crypto veteran. So she has joined the game since 2014, and she's the CMO of Swift Blockchain and Metapath, which is a cross-chain trading and NFT marketplace aggregator.
So I'm Christina. I'm the CMO of Swift Blockchain, which is a cross-blockchain trading platforms I've been building for the past about 6 years. Basically, my Bitcoin journey started back in 2014 when I studied MBA in London. And I started working in Silicon Valley in the crypto space, building a Swift blockchain. And since the metaverse came to play, we wanted to extend our years of cross-chain experience in the metaverse space. So I started a new project named Metapath, which is all-in-one place for cross-chain trading and NFT marketplace, meaning you can use a BNB to buy a Bored Ape. Now, AI is something everybody's talking about. Everybody wants to adopt the new technology into the product, and we find a way to adapt into Metapath that we are building a project that you can just hop to the platform and find the desired NFTs by the natural language conversation using the AI technology.
Where is it going, basically?
So it's all related to the whole Web3. What is Web3 about, and how NFT is related. So Web3 is utilizing blockchain underlying technologies for users. Then users can participate and get reward and get profit by participating while having fun. And then NFT, in my understanding, the very basic components with of the metaverse, of the Web3. When metaverse came out to play, mainly we were talking about those started from games, right? The most famous one, the Axie Infinity. So all the blockchain games, so metaverse, the basic component actually still NFTs and cryptocurrencies, which trade them. This is just starting from the NFT MS. You're gonna see so many companies, they want to build a game based on the blockchain using NFT as a basic component. Also belongings, like if you are part of an NFT community, there's always exclusive events you could go.
And I really like the way you help us try to see the NFT as a basic component of metaverse, and then as the identity access to the world. So there's a lot of interactions between what everyone is doing, which is great. More on the investment side.
I'm a huge fan of NBA Top Shot. What amazed me about NBA Top Shot is that when you purchase a moment about a player like LeBron James or Kevin Durant, you almost become a shareholder of that player.
That's true.
Right? You add value to their fan community, and it gives you privileges, right? For example, access to their sneakers or their games or meet and greet events. And like NBA Top Shot and Flow and Dapper Labs, they did a great job pushing that to the mainstream market.
Did you miss it? I know you missed it. So I'm going to play the very front, just the very front, and then I want you to listen to what she said. They asked her who she was, and she told them that she was the CMO for SWFT Coin and Metapath. And Metapath, this company that she started, it was started from SWFT Coin, folks. Did you hear it? Well, let's let you hear it, and then I'm going to tell you what else was said. This is what she said.
Christina Chen. Christina is a crypto veteran, so she has joined the game since 2014, and she's the CMO of SWFT Blockchain and Metapath, which is a cross-chain trading and NFT marketplace aggregator.
So I'm Christina. I'm the CMO of SWFT Blockchain, which is a cross-blockchain trading platforms I've been building for the past about 6 years. And I started working in Silicon Valley in the crypto space, building a SWFT Blockchain. And since the metaverse came to play, we wanted to extend our years of cross-chain experience in the metaverse space. So I started a new project named Metapath, which is all in one place for cross-chain trading and NFT marketplace.
We have liftoff, folks. SWFT Blockchain created another company, folks, right under your nose called Metapath. But why did they do that? Because of a specific reason. Christina Chen, the CMO of both, stated that one of them is cryptocurrency trading. The other one is cross-border with NFTs and the metaverse. You see, there's an identity that we have with NFTs. There's the same issue with your NFT from this network can't be transferred to this wallet. So why not integrate the technology that SWFT Coin already has and expand into another company called Metapath? That's exactly what's going on, folks. That is what you need to focus on for the remainder of this video. SWFT Coin and Metapath are hand to hand, folks. The same CMO, the same company using the same technologies, and I'm going to prove it, but I don't need to. She's already said it. Why is this important? Well, let's see what else was said during that conversation.
Now, AI is something everybody's talking about. Everybody wants to adopt the new technology into the product, and we find a way to adapt into Metapath, that we are building a project that you can just talk to the platform and find the desired NFTs by the natural language conversation using the AI technology.
You heard it, those folks. Using natural language processing. It's called large language models, folks, LLMs. That is another way of saying AI chat GPT. That's what we recognize. And using these large language models, LLMs, as she referred to, you can get desired NFTs. So if you like the apes, or you like the bunnies, or you like the Shiba, whatever you like, imagine going on to Metapath, now that you know that they use the technology, speaking right into your phone or searching and saying, I want to have the NFTs that are the most popular at this price that look like a ape. And it filters through the thousands of them and find the most unique ones. Imagine it like the baseball cards of days of old, where instead of having paper and you going through the cards, finding the gum and picking out the baseball cards that are most valuable, that you use this as a filter to search for specific NFTs that fit you, music, industry, everything. This is what you need to keep in mind. Remember, for the rest of this video, Metapath, Swift blockchain are one and the same, and the CMO is over both of them, and they use the technology. But let's show you more connections. Here we go. So the artificial intelligence piece that she just said, why is that important? She said it'll be used in Metapath. And now we see that Swift Coin and Metapath, Shin and Rebranding, Christina, have a partnership right here, right on your nose. Now, did you know, this is going to sound random, but Rebranding is also the North America Blockchain Association founder and chairman, Asia Pacific region. It was located in Beijing, China, and he brought it to the United States. And you know, he's the CEO of Swift Blockchain. Why is that important? Because I showed you this connection that Swift Coin, the CMO, and Rebranding, both on the trademark, are connected. And we talked about why they might need to rebrand in a previous video. I showed you during the patent and trademarks that Swift Coin, the one that's called SWFTCoin, was formed before the SWFT coin that we know, and that was done in 2013, preventing the Swift coin that we know in 2019 to be abandoned at this time and preventing them from being able to register the trademark. And we found this out through my research, folks, that no one else showed you, that both the Swift coin logos were dead. Now, we just found out this, that there was a roadmap, and I showed you this roadmap. In 2021, right when crypto crashed, Swift Blockchain told you about a roadmap. And this was the roadmap. Quarter one, they would integrate and they would go from BSC and other assets. Quarter two, a Swift decentralized exchange. Quarter three, fiat on and off ramps. And that's where money would get on exchange and off exchange. And quarter four, Swift governance and additional utilities. Now, one thing I want you to pay attention to, they talked about chat functions and red packets and payments and be listed on top exchanges. Now, we found out about Metapath. It headquarters in, guess where? Silicon Valley, just like Swift Coin. And it was founded when? 2021. Wait a minute, folks. 2021 Swift Coin roadmap comes to an end on this, and they said that they're going to list on top exchanges. In 2021, they formed Metapath, which Christina Chen told you they formed right when crypto crashed. Now, we know that SWFT Coin and Metapath with the CEO Rebranding and Christina Chen are hand-to-hand and partners. But why is that important? And do you think it's time to rebrand? What is the strategic advantage? Well, one, we now know that you don't have to spend a lot of effortless money for a trademark that doesn't really help your project because it's too closely similar. But why do they rebrand? Is it time to rebrand?
Why do companies decide to rebrand? To be fresh, outdated designs, to be ready for international growth, or other? Let's dive into some of the main reasons why a brand would undergo rebranding. Company, product, and innovation. Improvements are essential to maintain a successful business, and sometimes this requires some sort of rebranding. Consumer evolution. When consumer behavior evolves, a company must stay relevant and adapt to change accordingly. Leadership changes or company mergers and acquisitions. Mergers and acquisitions are often the most effective ways to rapidly expand into new markets.
Did you hear that? Rebranding is a positive thing, and sometimes they have to rebrand. And I'm here to tell you folks, that's exactly what I see is happening. You have to now make strategic business decisions. They rebranded into Metapath, folks. And we wanted to see why that was important. I showed you. Sometimes a company has to make strategic decisions to rebrand because by rebranding, it can reach international markets. You can, if the company is going through a merger, there's a lot of advantages. And at that time, SWFT Coin had no choice but to rebrand, but they also were rebranding for the bigger picture with Metapath, the NFT market, and also the AI market. And we saw why they need to do that because President Biden, even in 2023, gave an executive order. And if you were innovating in artificial intelligence, Metapath is, and SWFT Coin is one and the same, then that would get you the EB5 investment for the visas and also loans and other finances. It was a key element to getting money and funds to expand this company. Now, as we know, TI Park, what was it? Innovation between China and California. What we know is that this Gocoin was two companies, and we knew that Shin now is a member and founder with SWFT Coin, just like Rebranding, which was reported in the white paper, and we saw several connections. We know that the CEO, Shin, is over American Lending Center. We know that his expertise includes venture capital management. And we know this, he's great at this. He wrote the book about innovating and his experiences crossing the swamp, as he called it, and innovating into businesses with small business loans. Now we know his connection with SB5 Investor, and we know that that was connected to the Department of Homeland Security because there's a program for the EB5 Investor Program. And we know that's connected to artificial intelligence because the president in November 20th, 2023 said they will fund, and we need people from across the seas to come here to help us innovate using their talents in artificial intelligence, and they will be giving special privileges with this program. And we know that he is at the World Trade Center, which is foreign direct investment capital of California, and its connection to China. We know that he's going to be going with the ALC. January he went in Newport Beach, California, and they talked about building businesses in California at this location. We know that they're going to pitch in March, and they did that. And the ALC pitched in March. That was done as well. We know that that was in Taiwan. We know that in May 14th and 15th, 2024, Shanghai, China is on the list. And why they're on the list? Because they're trying to grow it. Because they're going again into Shenzhen in September 2024, which is the third and fourth quarter of 2024. And we know that they made an addition of the EB5 investors in Chinese because they're targeted there. Well, this also confirms it, folks. SWFT put their site in Chinese in preparation for this as well. This is their advertisement in Chinese for their technology. Now, I showed you the connection that on April 14, 2023, that Christina Chen talked at the Metaverse Congress, talked about is the Metapath and SWFTCoin connection. And she talked about artificial intelligence. And that's where I want to talk to you about now. Now, folks, we've been talking about artificial intelligence from the standpoint of it has a platform and big data, and that it helps to bring currencies. But they went further, Christina Chen, and they talked about something on the SWIFT blockchain that you need to pay attention to, folks. Chat GPT plugins with Metapath. Well, why does that matter? SWFTCoin on June 19th reported in 2023 what they're going to be doing with their product and the tech updates. And this is what they reported. I'll put it in green right there for you to see, folks. Swift integrate GPT plugin in progress. That's artificial intelligence, chat GPT, folks. And again, underneath that, Swift collaborates with Metapath and MPC wallet. Folks, they try to tell us. They said it right there in their updates. They are in a collaboration with Metapath because it's one and the same. They're using the technology for NFTs in the metaverse, folks. They are also connecting with ChatGPT. Now, they're not talking about ChatGPT. That's what we say in slang, kind of like we say Photoshop. They're talking about artificial intelligence, GPT. That's what they're talking about, folks. And that is what they were planning on doing. Well, let me show you why that's huge, folks. Because Metapath is the leading, most efficient decentralized finance platform in the universe, popularly referred to as the infrastructure of the metaverse. Metapath is the pioneer and the first cross-metaverse, cross-gamify, cross-chain, and multi-platform next level that connects the metaverse and NFT marketplaces. Public blockchains, decentralized exchanges, cross-chain bridges, and ultimate purpose of connecting the economic systems of different gamified platforms by linking virtual assets like NFTs in the virtual world to realize the interoperability of metaverses. The goal of Metapath is to realize the interconnectivity of blockchain ecosystems where users can reliably swap or transfer any digital assets and get paid for every transaction. Folks, woo, are you ready, folks? You see, we got that connection with Metapath, folks. You don't see now, then you're just blinded, folks. You have a connection, interoperability with the metaverse. This is still the conversation, and that everyone gets paid. Pay attention, that's going to be even more important. And the artificial intelligence feature that has in both SWFTCoin and also Metapath, which the President of the United States, the Congress as well, everybody has been pushing programs that can bring this talent to USA as long as it brings jobs, and they have a way in. Now, this is what you need to know, though. The chat GPT plugin for Metapath, folks. Yes, I said it. Metapath. This is what I see. SWFTCoin and Metapath, they had a conversation on May 12, 2023. Discover the dynamic collaboration between Swift blockchain and crypto and Metapath. They tried to tell you, you just wasn't listening. Metapath, what does it do, folks? It transfers tokens across all major blockchains, cross-chain NFT swaps, and buy gamify games. And the easiest way to access the metaverse is through Metapath. Let me show you the more similarities. Look familiar? Check out the left, folks. You see with the check marks? SWFTCoin and the Bridgers, which I showed you in the previous videos, both part of SWFT Coin is the #1 cross-chain swap listed on Metapath's website, but you're still not convinced that SWFT blockchain's connection will let me go further. The Bridgers decentralized cross-chain swap platform is owned by SWFT blockchain, and that is also, as you see the second green check mark there on the left-hand side, right by SWFT on Metapath website. Yes, sir and ma'am, if you heard me, that is also part of the ecosystem. Now, what else we know? We know that Metapath has 40 chains. Does that look familiar, folks? Seamless cross-chain swaps with 40 chains. In the middle of this circle, you see Metapath logo. That's interesting, wouldn't you say? And if you look at this on Metapath's website, what did we find? Well, on the right-hand side, I put it in green so you can see it. We got some hitters, folks. This is the connection you need to know. We have Axie Infinity. They have Mobox. They have Zoo. They have Crabata. What do we see? Pegaxie. Well, you know that one. Don't you know about Crypto Blades? Did you know about X World Games? What about Uniswap? OpenSea? PancakeSwap? Rarible? It was all told to you, folks. And I told you first on the Underdog Research Channel that I'm going to blow your minds and melt your faces. Metapath, SWFT Coin, and the connections to the metaverse and cryptocurrency, artificial intelligence. But I'm not done. We're just warming up. I've only been through one connection with Shin and a partnership and collaboration that you didn't know about with Metapath. I still have a lot of more photos we have to go over, folks. Are you ready to give up and quit on your future? I'm not. Let's get it. Let's get all of it. So we talked about this in my last video. Wall Street Journal, March 27th, 2023, HTX, we know that is Sun, and Justin Sun talked about this piece where he's trying to get into China and bridge back that gap. And how he's going to do that? Well, Metapath, what a coincidence, folks. That's right. Exciting news announced by Metapath on March 6th to crypto traders. It says the following: Tron, CCC's Tron. Now, what is CCC? Seamless cross-chain swap with CCC with over 500 cryptocurrencies. What is CCC? Well, this is what CCC is. It is Coconut Chicken, a meme coin that is produced by Justin Sun Influence, which is on the Tron network, which is released through Metapath. And guess what? It's available. And HTX, which holds SWFT Coin, that is also going to be connected to China Focus, as you already knew about. And Justin Sun wants to bring the meme coin with the Tron network with Coconut Chicken, but it's offered through Metapath. And this particular forum, December 23rd, 2023, it was announced, and here it is in Chinese even, folks. They're advertising this meme coin, Coconut Chicken, through Metapath. Their connection right there with Justin Sun. And this is going right back into the red envelopes and packets, these meme coin NFTs. I want you to notice something, folks. Look at this, folks. Here's SWFT Coin. Do you notice the similarity between SWFT Coin's logo and all the 40 blockchains and Metapath? I thought you would, but let's take a closer look at the Metapath website so you can see exactly what I see. A quick look at Metapath, we can see it claims it is the aggregator of metaverse. Now, as you can go through, you can see it has these major blockchains such as Polygon, Arbitrum. All these are connected with these NFTs. And it shows the top collection in the last 24 hours. And you can see lots of things going on, lots of popular projects. And it shows how much they are going up in value. This one is up as high as 283%. Now, here's the thing about it. There's a interesting piece that you got to pay attention to. You can go to the swap. And once you click swap, you can see here that you can swap for different tokens across different chains. You can do gamify swaps, NFT swaps, and currency swaps. And do you know who's responsible for all this work? SWIFT token and SWIFT blockchains allow you to swap, aggregate, gamify in the metaverse, NFTs, and that is liquidity across the platform, all because of a collaboration. Find your path in the metaverse with Metapath and SWFT Coin. We're heating up, folks. So as I showed you right there, Metapath, the SWIFT connection. Well, I want to go deeper, folks. Let me show you a side by side. You're still not convinced that there's a connection after they done told you, Christina Chen told you, after I done showed you. Well, let me even go a step further. Let you see it visually with your own eyes. Now let's take a look at Metapath and SWIFT blockchains websites side by side so you can see for yourself. Now, on the left-hand side of your screen, my left-hand side, you can see it says Metapath in the top left corner. And then on the right-hand side, you can see it has the logo for SWIFT blockchain. Right off the bat, you can see the similarities in not only the color structure, but the images, the going up and down, almost like the same person created this. I wonder who they have in common between them. Well, let's go ahead and keep going. Now, going down, you can see that it shows SWIFT right here as the cross-chain swap, #1 listed for Metapath. And we can go down SWIFT on the right-hand side, and you can see again, more similarities. The one-stop shop for Web3. It talks about the products of SWIFT. And again, the site set up exactly the same with this raising icons up and down, showing how it's connected. Now, here you see the exact same image that was used above. Instead of having Metapath, you can see it has SWIFT, because this was created by the same CMO and the same people are behind this project. SWIFT and Metapath. They are one and the same, and they're linked together. I told you, folks, we're going to go deep in this project. I done showed you the connection with Shin. I done showed you the connection with a project you didn't even know about called Metapath, and it's part of SWIFT with Christina Chen and Ramalan. And now I need to go even further, folks. We're not done. I am just getting warmed up. You want to go in depth? Well, let's keep going. Notice this is Metapath. And this is their advertisement of 40 plus chains. And notice this is SWFT Coin. And this is their advertisement for 40 plus chains. What do you notice is the same? They're even using the same advertisements for their separate projects, folks. This project is so interconnected. And when I was looking at that, I thought it's time to make a deeper connection so we can start to connect the Metapath. So when you say SWIFT, I want you to say Metapath. From now on, when you say SWIFT, you need to say Metapath as well. Don't leave it out like a redheaded stepchild. Let's say it together. Metapath, folks, because you are connected. Now, this is what Metapath is wanting to do in the future of blockchain technology. Oh, it gives you chills, don't it? It makes you want to go. Brrr. It gives me chills, folks. Metapath in 2021. It was founded in Silicon Valley. And how do we know that this is associated? Well, in May of 2021, I want you to read there on Twitter, formerly known as, now it's called X, Rambled Other Deed username, founder of the North America Blockchain Association, at SWFT Coin, hashtag Coinbase listed, one-stop shop cross-chain list at Metapath as well. On Swift Pro, Ramblin listed Metapath as the founder on this Twitter page on May 2021. And then on May 12th, 2023, just so you know, Swift Blockchain makes an announcement citing Twitter space on May 12th, 1 p.m. It says, join us delve deep into the world of blockchain with Metapath. Discover the dynamic collaboration between Swift Blockchain and crypto and Metapath. Well, you still want more? Well, here's it closer. On July 24th of 2022, right off the same Twitter page, Ramble, the other deed at Ramble DeFi 1 says San Francisco Bay, Swift Pro, Coinbase, and you can see it right there, the founder, one-stop cross-chain for Metapath. We have a connection, folks. Ramblin, the chief executive officer, is also directly associated with Metapath, Swift Blockchain, as well as what Christina Chen told us that she was Metapath and Swift Blockchain's CMO. They are one and the same. And this is where it gets good, folks. ChatGPT, folks, remember, they were formed in 2021. So I wonder why that would be when the launch of ChatGPT. Well, 2022, everyone knew about ChatGPT. 2023, ChatGPT started offering their connectivity with other programs, such as the APIs. Well, who is this? Oh, that's right. Tim Draper. 2 billion USD is his net worth. Now, Tim Draper may have known that artificial intelligence was the key to the future back in 2017 when he gave that initial investment. And since he's in the business world, there's something you need to know. Did you know that Metapath, did you see Christina Chen and Ramblin, who are associated with it, received on March 1st, 2022, Metapath raised an undisclosed amount of seed money from Shima Capital. Who is Shima Capital? Well, I think you should know that Shima Capital's website lists Metapath, folks, as an investment. And remember Christina Chen, who spoke on the future of young pioneers in the age of metaverse? I showed you that, right? Well, interesting. Swift stated then June 19th that they're going to do an integration with ChatGPT plugin. And Swift collaborates with, there it goes again at the bottom in green. I got a check mark, folks. Metapath, and that was 2023, but they received an investment, as we saw, in 2021 and 2022. So if they received an investment in 2022, I wonder what that means. Well, I think it means this. On July 9th of 2023, we see an article called 8 Best ChatGPT Plugins for Crypto Research. And guess what was listed, folks? You guessed it right there. Metapath was mentioned in this article. It says that what are the current top 5 NFT collections ranked by volume? Which NFTs in the last 7 days saw a dramatic increased price floor? What are the trends? Well, Metapath would tell you all that, folks. And this is why it's important, folks. We have to look at it, the NFT and the crypto space this week with Web3. We got to remember that on November 20th, 2023, the President of the United States talked about us as a nation in the United States getting this talent in artificial intelligence, and they would give back visas to individuals in this space, which brings us to the Billionaire Blueprint. The Billionaire Blueprint, I'm about to bring you through more connection, folks. I done brought you all the way through Metapath, but you still want more. I done brought you all that you need to know about Shin, but I brought you also to Shima Capital. And let me show you why you need to know the faces of this organization in the Billionaire Blueprint for SWFT Coin. We have Yida Gao, who is over Shima Capital. Shima Capital, the crypto venture capital funded by Yida Gao, has made nearly 200 startup investments since 2021. Now, Yida Gao is a partner in New York City with a big companies, and he created this venture capital investment company. Now, what we find out is that Yida Gao, the founder of Shima Capital, is investing in Web3 and has invested in over 150 companies since 2021. Now, do you see right there? It says Yida founded Yima Capital and raised $200 million, receiving support from notable investors, including Dragonfly Capital, Animoca Brands, Bill Ackman Republic, and many others. Shima is one of the most prolific investors in Web3 and has invested in over 150 companies. Well, that's interesting, because we know that Shima Capital invested in Metapath, one of those 150 companies in 2021. And we know that Metapath is the leading platform in metaverse and NFTs, and SWFTCoin is the leading companies in cross-border transactions. So we see this connection that Metapath, being in Silicon Valley in 2021, receives their investment. And we have it right there. It was reported in the company profile that the company Metapath received, at the bottom, I put it in green, venture capital backed funding. And this was done in 2021. And again, who was the venture capital funding from? It was funded from Shima Capital. Now, Shima Capital debuts with $200 million to support Web3 founders through crypto bear market. In an article on August 17, 2022, we found out a global venture firm that invests in early stage blockchain companies across all market cycles today announced that it has launched a debut fund, Shima Capital Fund, or the fund, and has collectively raised $200 million. The fund received significant support from notable investors, including Dragonfly Capital, Bill Ackman, Animico, OKX, Mariam Ventures, Republic of, and Andrew Yang, and many others. By providing hands-on oversight to help maximize each company's value, Shima Inaugural Fund aims to consistently deploy capital when founders need it. Mission is to help daring teams build and scale their companies. Now, on August 17th, 2022, I'm going to tell you exactly how much money that Metapath received. It was undisclosed, but it came to us through additional research that I found only on here on the Underdog Research Channel. This is what I found out. Shima Capital invests early round blockchain startups. It was announced that the checks that were given to companies they invested in were between, I put it in green, folks, $500,000 to $2 million. And areas of focus include, but are not limited to, consumers, decentralized identity, social media content ownership, gaming, metaverse, and payment and settlements. I'll put it in blue, folks. As crypto-focused venture capitalists continue to raise massive billion-dollar plus funds. I'll put a green star, you can see it. We have identified a pocket opportunity to support Web3 founders. Folks, Metapath, Swift Blockchain, through this partnership and collaboration with Christina Chen, Shima Capital, John Shin at the head of this stuff too, folks. All of it connected. We know that they received a $500,000 to a $2 million check in 2021 to grow that Metapath connection, folks. Folks, this is what I'm talking about. And it told us who were the billionaire investors, folks. See, in the article, it stated that Shima Capital, which began investing in early 2021, right when Metapath was funded by them in 2021, was backed close to 200 startups, consistently ranking among the sector's most active venture funds. In August, they announced they raised $200 million, and backers include billionaires. That's B, folks. Bill Ackman, Alan Howard, former presidential candidate Andrew Yang, and industry heavyweights like Amoco Brands and Dragonfly Capital. Bill Ackman, what is he worth, folks? $4.3 billion invested in Metapath through Shima Capital, which is an investment in SWFT Coin. One thing that Bill said I thought was interesting on his Twitter, he says Bitcoin price rise leads to increased mining and greater energy use, driving up cost of energy, causing inflation to rise and the dollar to decline, driving demand of Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes to infinity, energy prices skyrocket, and the economy collapses. Maybe I should buy more Bitcoin. Funny guy, right? Then we see Alan Howard. Oh, you need to pay attention to Alan Howard, folks. You need to pay attention to Alan Howard, folks. You need to pay attention to Alan Howard, folks. Let me tell you why you need to pay attention to Alan Howard, a billionaire investor worth $3.9 billion. Well, billionaire hedge fund trader Alan Howard profits in the market turmoil. This man's so smart that he was able to benefit when everything else crashed. And this was an article written in 2018. Now, just so you know, he's extravagant. He's a British billionaire, Alan Howard, had Lady Gaga perform at his wedding with $12 million ceremony at Lake Como. He also splurges on NFTs, crypto, and Monet artworks. Now, folks, the hedge fund manager is said to have accumulated billions of dollars during the 2008 financial crisis, as he was able to predict interest rate and currency moves, and likewise made more profit on Brevet vote by accurately tracking voter sentiment. Howard, via an exclusive with digital assets websites, The Block, has talked about the extensive engagement in cryptocurrency scene, wherein stresses the importance of being in the arena to fully understand the going-ons of cryptocurrency world. Per the interview, Howard's operations include spanning public and private market investing, equity and tokens, centralized, decentralized ecosystems, and even, albeit in a personal capacity, non-fungible tokens, NFTs, and generative artwork. Folks, Alan Howard is all about his business. I don't know about you, but I'm following people who are billionaires who know how to make money when the crypto and the economy is crashing. He knows how to make money. Well, we're still not done. Who else are backers in Shima Capital? Well, they said Andrew Yang. Media outlets have provided several estimates of Yang's net worth as mid 1 million, according to Forbes, between 834 to 2.4 million, according to the Wall Street Journal, and between 3 million to 4 million, according to Newsweek. In 2020, OpenSecret's estimated it being 584,000. Now, Andrew Yang might look familiar to you. He made a book called The War on Normal People. And in 2020, he made this on June 22nd called The David Dividend Project is a new program and the data as property rights under privacy laws in California. See, Andrew Yang is fighting for people to have their digital identity, just like Christina Chen said, just like the Metapath is doing. This is what he wants to have done in the United States, starting with California. Now, the Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA, all across the country is what he wants to push. He wants to pave the way for a future in which all Americans can claim their data as property right and receive payment if they choose to share their data with platforms. Exactly what Metapath said on their website. Exactly what Christina Chen said. What about this gentleman, Johannes Rowitz? Now, Johannes was also a backer mentioned on Shima Capital, and he works for Dragonfly Financial as the CEO, a self-proclaimed famous tech billionaire from South Africa. Dragonfly Financial provides digital banking solutions for banks in the United States. They offer technology platforms for banks where their corporate and business customers can sign on and do all their corporate payments, cash payments, and reconciliation in a manner that backs directly into their accounting form. Now, their target market is larger regional banks looking to compete with big players in the U.S. ecosystem. And that is also a backer of Metapath and SWFT. Now, Dragonfly, as you can see on his LinkedIn, he is the Chief Executive Officer of Dragonfly Financial Technologies. But we're still not done. There was more investors on Shima Capital. Now, if you look, this is Yatsu. Now, Yatsu is estimated around $100 million this year alone. He's the executive chairman and co-founder of Animoco Brands, made most of his wealth due to his early focus on NFTs, folks. Come on now. He is famous as one of the major crusaders of the global adoption of decentralized internet. His efforts toward growth in Web3 earned him net worth of $100 million. Folks, are you seeing the connection with Metapath, with Shima Capital, with SWFT Coin? All direct investments, and what they want is exactly what their platforms does. And Animoco Brands is here. And Shima's strong focus on supporting founders and willingness to bash through walls for their sake resonates well with Animoco Brands. And he said, as a co-founder, it's a great honor to partner with Shima Capital, especially given the fund's high conviction to global proliferation of digital property rights and open metaverse. So here again, Andrew Yang, also with Yatsu, everyone is talking about your digital property rights and being paid, folks, for those NFTs in the metaverse. And that goes through, and you see what Animoco Brands is all about. Check out that second checkmark Singapore connection, folks, with Web3 Entertainment. They got the Metaverse, the Mocaverse, partners with Korean, which I told you about, Korean players that expand their presence. Entertainment. Folks, there is so much here, but I'm not going to cover it all today. I just want you to see the connection, folks. Now, let me show you an estimate of how much money is being spent into this by these companies. Coinbase in the U.S. invested in over 119 venture capital projects. Animoco Brands, 118. Shima Capital, 88. And you can see the ones at the bottom you might recognize: Polychain, Dragonfly, Spartan, Multi-chain. There are investors, but almost double was invested by Coinbase and Animoco Brands and Shima Capital. Shima Capital and Animoco Brands. It came out. There's a connection, and I found this connection by searching through the patent. And I want you to remember when I showed you in that video of patents about the Singapore connection with SWFTCoin Foundation at 3 Fraser Street Duo Tower with Bo Lang. And I showed you that that company that was for SWFTCoin, that was for their trademark, was located and registered in Singapore. I took you on a journey through the building, but this I don't think you knew. September 25th, 2023, an article entitled Metapath, All of the Metaverse in One Place. Interesting, right? Now, what did they say? It says this week in Web3 and NFTs. Notice they talked about that in 2 separate ways, Web3 and NFTs, an article about Metapath. Let's read this introduction. In a rapidly evolving digital landscape, the past week has been nothing short of exhilarating from both NFT and cryptocurrency sectors. Again, they're breaking it down in 2 separate sectors. That's important. From record-breaking sales to iconic NFTs to groundbreaking advancements in blockchain technology, the industry continues to push boundaries and set new standards. As we dive into the week's highlights, we'll uncover the major moves that are not only shaping the market, but also hinting at the limitless potential of decentralized world. So what did they bring up, Metapath? Well, let's see here. I'm going to skip to a few interesting points. Number 4 that they brought up, China's trademark office has given a green light to several marks related to NFTs and metaverse goods and services. This move signifies China's recognition of the growing importance of virtual assets. China, NFTs, and trademarks. Why does that matter? Well, let's just go ahead and skip down. Now, I'm going to skip over Citigroups, which you really should read, but there's Walmart. Let's see what they said about Walmart. Walmart, folks. Walmart is venturing into the metaverse, merging physical shopping experiences with virtual engagements. The retail giant aims to redefine the shopping experience in a digital age. Now, that's 2023 September. Well, let's see what they say about Anmico Brands and Honda's NFT strategy. Well, it says, whoa, Anmico Brands in Japan, and Honda have collaborated to integrate NFTs in the 2023 fiscal year 1 events. This strategy aims to enhance the fan engagement and offer unique experiences. Now, I'm going to stop right there, because this is about Metapath and what they were saying on September 25th of 2023, and pay attention to those brands. Let's talk about this. I told you we're going to heat it up. You thought this is going to be a regular video. I showed you I was going to go through connections, and I'm still not done. Oh, it's a marathon, folks. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon about SWFTCoin and blockchain, Metapath, Shin. I done showed you Shima Capital. I done went through Allen. I done went through Bill. I keep going and throwing these concepts, these connections, and you see it. Direct connections, but I'm still not done, folks. To remember earlier, I told you about Alan Howard, and I said that you need to pay attention. Okay, taking a look at this a little bit closely. A push for decentralization, Puffer Finance raises $5.5 million to redefine liquid Ethereum staking. Now, this was an article that was done on August 8th, 2023. And let's see exactly who their investors are. Well, right off the bat, can you see that? There's Ramble, the founder of North America Blockchain Association. The same Ramble Land that is the CEO of SWFTCoin and the founder of North America Block Association. And we're not done. Breven Howard Digital, the same hedge fund CEO billionaire, is invested in Puffer, but it must be lightning striking 3 times and a coincidence, because here we have Animoca Ventures as well. Now, I'm not even going to go in the other ones. I'm just going to pick out the 3 that I had already told you about. We got Breven Howard, Animoca Ventures, and we got SWFTCoin CEO, who was an angel investor also in this project. But you don't have to believe me. Let's take a closer look. Announcing our 5.5 million seed round. And now let's see who those investors were. Well, here we go. As we look at the investors, it starts to talk about who they were. And it talks about who provided finances. And here we have it here. We can see that we got Breven Howard Digital, Bankless Ventures, Animoca Ventures, and we can look down and see a little bit more about the full list. And on that full list, you can see the names going across right there. But I want to show you exactly right here. Ramble, founder of North American Blockchain. Now, if I click on Ramble and I went to look to make sure, who does it bring up? I wonder whom will come up. Well, look at that. Ramble, Other Deed, SWFTCoin, Coinbase, and Metapath. And what's the first pinned post on their page? Nothing other than July 24th, 2022, where Ramble stated, the CEO of SWFTCoin, SWFTCoin is now live on Coinbase, a 5-year grind. Yes, another connection. Shima Capital had Alan Howard on it, and Shima Capital invested in Metapath in 2021, and Alan Howard, the billionaire who had Lady Gaga at his wedding, and a $12 million wedding to add to that, folks, was a part of that first connection, the first one with Metapath. But folks, what did I just show you right now? There's a second connection. Breven Howard Digital, owned by Alan Howard. They announced on August 8, 2023, a push for decentralization, an investment into Puffer Finance that raised $5.5 million. And who all were on this investment for Puffer Finance? Do you know what Puffer Finance even is? I'm going to tell you. But who was on it? Look to your left. The same people. Breven Howard, billionaire. We got Yatsu and Melco Ventures, billionaire. And we got Ramble Land, SWFTCoin, folks. There is your connection. But I want you to notice, not only are they seen on the Metapath with the Shima Capital connection, those first 2 billionaires, but now we see SWFTCoin. This is a connection between SWFTCoin specifically and these 2 billionaires, not to include the Metapath connection through Shima Capital and SWFTCoin. I want you to look underneath August 8th, 2023. Now look down. Look to the right and see the 2 stars in green. Notice it says Token Pocket and Egen Layer. Now there's a lot of good connections here, but I think you need to understand that there's more to this story. Why is this important? Well, I've heard this before. And where did we hear this Token Pocket connection before? Well, we heard it from Shook Focus Digital. Folks in the Underdog Research Channel, I told you to go listen to Shook Focus Digital. I suggested you listen to Black Rue Investing. I told you to check out The Third Eye with Indigo Saint. And I all did videos and covered SWFTCoin. But what did Shook Focus Digital say? This is what Shook said about Token Pocket.
back to another episode of Shift Focus. And in this one, we're going to be taking a look at SWFTCoin. What is SWFTCoin? It's becoming more and more popular. We got Black Rule and Underdog Crypto going in on this project. Why is it all of a sudden starting to gain traction? And why is it bubbling? Why are people taking a deeper look at this project? I think it's time that Shooks took a peek at this project too. They've also integrated their app with the Elipal wallet, the Math wallet, Token Pocket, and other hardware wallets and mobile wallets.
You heard it right there. You didn't miss it. Let me show it again for the people in the back. Token Pocket was mentioned by Shook Focus Digital. And I'm mentioning that this was also seen as an investor in this Puffer Finance. And I'm mentioning the thing called EigenLayer. Now, why is that important? Now, EigenLayer, this protocol was also investors saw with Rambo Land, with Alan Howard, and from Emelco Brands Billionaire. Now, why did they invest? Well, we see here that there's off of the Puffer Finance website, to the left, I put a star and an arrow, angel investor Rambo Land of SWFTCoin. Puffer Finance raised $5.5 million. And if you look, that was stated on March 8, 2023. Now, Braven Howard, I put an arrow on the right-hand side and a star, and I put their name big in green so you can see it. The billionaire also invested. Remember Rambo Land? You've seen this before. North American Blockchain Association, Beijing, China, founder and chairman of SWFTCoin, and also the North American Blockchain Association. Remember, they are an angel investor for Puffer Finance. So who is and what is Puffer Finance that got this $5.5 million that keeps showing up with the billionaires and with SWFTCoin and Metapath? Well, on August 9th, 2023, this was announced from Puffer. Commenting on the announcement, the rapid advancements in infrastructure and user experience have primed Ethereum for mass adoption. As this era ushers in a new centralization pressures, preserving Ethereum's core values becomes increasingly essential. We hope that Puffer Protocol will create a pocket within the validator set where decentralization can thrive. By lowering barriers to entry, anyone can run a Puffer node from their home to operate Web3 infrastructure and play a pivotal role in shaping the Web3, and that is resilient and censorship resistant. We want to express our utmost gratitude to our investors for their trust, support, and partnership. Together and with our community, we will build a flourishing ecosystem true to the values that made Ethereum so special. So looking into this, we see Puffer Finance has a website. Well, I took a look at that website, and they have a total locked value of, you're reading it right, folks, $1,364,496,355.61 locked in this Puffer. And right there at the bottom, can you see it? I'll put a check mark for you. That's 367.43 thousand Ethereum. And EigenLayer has 302.76 million. So EigenLayer is the infrastructure for Puffer, which is discussing Ethereum. And what is it doing? Well, Puffer is a transformative in Ethereum staking. Ethereum staking has faced challenges with centralization due to factors such as low profit margins and substantial capital requirement of 32 Ethereum. Puffer aims to revolutionize this domain by offering a more permissionless and credibly neutral approach with the cutting edge technology, which includes 1. Native restaking, increasing rewards, opportunities, and hardware efficiency through Ethereum point of sale and agent layer restaking, and anti-slasher protection, implementing safeguards against slashing penalties, increasing capital efficiency. There you have it. We have went through all of these connections and have learned a lot. We learned about the Puffer Finance connection. We learned about that with Braven Howard's connection, a billionaire, with Emoco Brands, billionaire, with SWFTCoin, Ramble Lane investment in the same Puffer Finance. We learned about Shima Capital, Dragonfly billionaire, Emoco Brands billionaire, Alan Howard. We learned about Bill Ackman, all these billionaires. Andrew Yang invested. Andrew Yang wanting people to get paid for their digital assets and identity. The same focus that Emoco Brands stated in theirs. We learned about Metapath being the only person in that space doing that thing that they said they would do with artificial intelligence. And Christina Chen stating in her last speech about that on stage, about the connection between, separate them folks, NFTs, metaverse, and cryptocurrency decentralization and being paid for this piece. We learned that it was a collaboration that came in 2021. We learned that Metapath and Shin and SWFTCoin and Ramble Lane all were connected through the EB5 Investors Program. We learned that Shin was central, a key member of the foundation of SWFTCoin, both in the white paper and also with the earlier blog on Bitcoin Talk. And what else we learned? Yida Gao, the CEO of Shima Capital, raised $200 million in the earliest investment in 2021, the founding of Metapath in 2021, were by these individuals. And we saw their direct connection. And now we saw exactly what the $1 billion plan was all about. Ramble Land, Christina Chen, with the help of their backers, have formed two companies, folks. These two companies are Metapath, SWFTCoin, backed by billionaires with a goal. They're connected internationally. We know that the end of the fourth quarter of 2024, moving into 2025, that they're making connections. They're doing expos through the EB5 program with ALC, the American Lending Center, to promote the companies and technologies. We know that the President of the United States, even in 2023, November, stated that they will do benefits for companies that innovate in AI specifically. And SWFTCoin and Metapath and these investors knew it too. You see, they were in the right place, the right time, and they had the right backing to be the fundamental, as they stated in their articles, the foundational blueprint for all companies to follow. And they're the first in the space. Now, folks, I don't know about you, but I know this. This looks like a move that will be big as we move into 2024, fourth quarter, and 2025. The Billionaire Blueprint of SWFTCoin has been revealed. Folks, this was the most in-depth, the most direct, the most extraordinary research, entertainment you can receive only on the Underdog Research Channel. Check the link in the description of this video so you can get the time codes through all of this and navigate, look through it, bit by bit, part by part. Check my research, folks. I gave you information that no one else has talked about. I'm not talking about price action of today. I'm talking about a phenomenal potential of tomorrow. Do you want to be a part of it? Do you want to listen to the billionaires who see something that you don't see? Or do you want to still guess? Win Lambo, win Moon. I don't know about you folks, but I know that I'm going to go with individuals such as Alan Howard, who made billions of dollars when the market was crashing. Bill Ackman, hedge fund billionaire. Tim Draper, billionaire. Yale Gao, Yatsu, Andrew Yang, Jonas Broas, billionaires. Apparently, they see something in Metapath and SWFTCoin that others don't see yet, but they will. I hope you enjoyed this most enjoyable research project I've ever done before, and I hope you share it with everyone. Take your time to go through it and find out how this project just may be one of the greatest moves you've ever seen that no one talked about. Well, that's all I have, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, this has been the Underdog Research Channel. Thank you for watching.